I'm with Sujiv Nair, CEO of Task, in his office here in Hyderabad. Sujiv, you've done a fabulous job in the last 4 years. You started Task essentially, and not just conceptualized it, but also enabled it to come alive and relatively show lots of success. In terms of the impact that you have for the Telangana state and also, for many people around this whole area. Talk us through that journey. What was the key lessons you learned in terms of how somebody can take something, build it, and then scale it or grow it? What were the steps that you took?
4 steps, just to be very broad. First is understanding the stakeholders, understanding their expectations, and doing a SWOT analysis.
Okay.
Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats.
So really scanning the whole environment to
Correct.
understand what your stakeholders, and stakeholders can be multiple stakeholders.
Multiple stakeholders.
Enabling, okay, so and then doing the SWOT to understand, everything that in terms of your capability and what your strengths and weaknesses and all the areas. And then what?
The next step is, once you understand what your stakeholders want, defining what is a value proposition. What is Task going to bring into each of these stakeholders? My investor, my employee, my customer, and my suppliers.
Okay. And that's also valid for organizations, right?
Correct.
Because you have the shareholders, you have your employees,
Correct.
you have the
Colleges,
customers and
the
so on,
training
right?
partners.
And in that case, those are your customers, yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So the second one was defining the employee value proposition. The third step was translating this into goals, measurable goals. And in HR, they call it the SMART goals.
Right. Or key results sometimes.
Key result areas.
Yes.
Every employee in my organization at the beginning of the year have 3 to 6 goals that they take. And these goals are flowing down from the goals of Task.
So you set up the big goals.
Correct.
And then each employee division heads and so
Division
on.
heads and then the
The
employees.
employees have that similar goals that are aligned to the bigger goal of the
Correct.
organization. Okay.
And these goals are tracked by the respective directors and divisional heads. And I do that once a month.
Oh, so you have a very consistent process to measure,
Yes.
review this. Okay.
So I have something called the Executive Council, where I and my direct reports, every month we meet. There's a calendar date already sent. And we discuss about these goals. The metrics are projected. And we look, because I strongly believe what gets measured gets done.
Okay.
And we've had successes, we've had failures. We're very open as a team. Whenever we have had failures, we see what went wrong and see how we can correct it for the next month. And the success we've created, the 4th step is going back to stakeholders and informing them, hey, this is where we found a need, this is what we did, and this is the result.
So that's really accountability to them.
Absolutely.
But also it helps brand and it helps market, it helps tells the story, and it helps get them energized to continue that investment or continue that journey with you.
Exactly. And more importantly, while brand is one, the value creation is one, what I call as a core value, right, in part, dependability. That trust and reliability factor says, and that's how we get more and more customers back eating out of the palm of Task.
Fantastic. Oh, thanks for sharing that. It's very insightful. And I think it's not just applicable to government agencies, but also for organizations, for startups, everyone can take those principles and apply it. Very simple, very effective, and thanks for sharing.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
Thank
Sujiv.
you.